Good morning, sir. Good morning, classmates. This morning, we will be learning the Module 4, which is all about producing learning resources using technology tools. At the end of this module, the students should be able to identify various instructional materials and technology tools in mathematics and science teaching and learning. Explain the characteristics of good and appropriate IMs and technology tools in learning mathematics and science. Prepare IMs that will enhance mathematics and science learning utilizing selected technology tools in delivering the learning plan, and create appropriate IMs using technology tools in learning mathematics and science. First, let us discuss the characteristics of an effective and efficient instructional materials. As we all know, IMs, or also known as instructional materials, serves as a blueprint for the teachers in developing and delivering the learning to their students. Instructional materials are very important because they contribute a lot to student learning and teaching. IMs are being utilized inside of the classroom through the use of traditional instructional materials in order to enrich the teaching and learning process. But as time passed by, the integration of technology have become a great contribution in delivering and developing an instructional materials. And later on, class, you will be able to know and learn how these various technology tools helps in developing and improving the instructional materials, how it makes an interactive and collaborative teaching and learning process.
So today's lesson, we will discuss about the mathematics and science instructional materials supported by technology tools. So we all know that technology plays a great role in teaching and learning process. So the first lesson that we will discuss is all about instructional chart. So one of the most common types of instructional materials in mathematics and science teaching and learning is a chart. So with the use of chart, the teachers can easily input their knowledge to the student to easily understand by the student using the graphs or the chart. So chart can be seen on printed materials but can be enhanced and printed in 3D and 4D using technology. So with the use of technology, the chart that the teachers give can be enhanced using the technology. So there are four application in creating a chart. So one of these is the Microsoft Word. So Microsoft Word does not only allow you to create documents, but it is also has a provision to allow you to create the chart or a graph. So we all know that Microsoft Word is the common application that we always use in making documents, but it is also an applications in creating or good for creating a chart or a graph. So cite for example in this picture. So with the use of Microsoft Word, we can insert picture so and easily understand by the students using the pie graph. So the next application is the Excel. So this is very handy tool for mathematics and science learners and teachers in data presentation. So with the use of Excel, we can also insert some chart or a graph. Site for example in this picture. This is uh, the product profit from 2013 to 2017. So with the use of Excel, we can easily understand that in year 2014 is in the highest sale of the product C. So the next application is the PowerPoint, the Microsoft PowerPoint. So PowerPoint offers various tools that can make your presentations interactive using slides. So PowerPoint, so this is the one that I used in this video. So this is an example of the PowerPoint. So we can easily understand the topic that the teachers give using these PowerPoints, and we can also insert some graphs, the pie graphs, the bar graphs, and etc. So this one, this is an examples of the graphs. So The other application is the iOS, Android, Windows Phone, and iPad's chart maker. So this application also um, can make a chart on easily understand by the students. So there are numbers, fees, 3D chart, and chart maker, graphing calculator, HD, Roombi, analytics, and graphs.
Many of the schools in the Philippines have been requiring their students to participate in poster making activities to further develop their creativity and help them express their ideas through a pictorial device. This is one of the most common activities inside of the classroom in order to develop the critical thinking of the students, their creativity, and their way of thinking and how they're going to express their ideas through an output which is the poster making. And now, with the advent of the technology tutorials from YouTube, there are a lot of application and technology that will help the students to develop more their creativity, their thinking skills, developing a poster through the use of application websites. So in that way, these technology tools help the students in how they are going to utilize the different technology tools that can be used in making a poster. So, and now, these are the applications that can be used in making up posters. The first one is the Spark Poster, also known as Adobe Spark. It can be accessed through a website and through downloading the application. So what is the Spark Post, or also known as Adobe Spark? It is a suite of design tools that allows you to make your own posters, videos, and web pages using your own computer or iOS mobile device. In Spark Post, you can create your own designs on what are your desire of that kind of poster. So you have the freedom on what kind of design that you want to have. And also, in Spark Post, there are free templates that you can use in making posters. But some templates also are premium, so you have to buy it. So only those freebies you can use in making a poster or editing something. The second one is the Canvas Poster Maker. Just like the Spark Post, it can be accessed through a website and through an application. You can download the application also. So Canvas Poster Maker has hundreds of templates designed by their team of professional designers. And the next one is the Black Posters. You can access this on a website. So this kind of posters it will let you make your own custom poster for free. So you have the freedom of what kind of designs you're going to have. You can of something that you desire. Next is the Posterani. So you can access this on a website. And then Posterani redefines the meaning of design, combining augmented reality, artificial intelligence, and gamification in a unique way. And the last one is the Poster My Wall. So Poster My Wall can be accessed through a website, and it is a website that features amazing poster templates and has an easy-to-use custom graphics service.
Math Drill Apps. Math Drill Apps is drill activities in mathematics provide speed and accuracy practice to students. These are used to develop the computational skills of students when properly given, especially in basic education. The following applications are complied by Getting Smart 2017. First is Chalkboard Math. This is a great app for students to practice and get skilled in basic math. It helps kids to learn all the basic math facts corresponding to addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division in a quickly engaging manner. It generates math practice in two different modes. These modes are answer mode and flashcard mode. While the first one allows entering answer and getting feedback, the second one allows verbal answering. Second is Sushi Monster. Sushi Monster has a playful interface and characters to help kids expand their math skills and knowledge. The apps offer 12 different levels of play, including 7 levels for addition and 5 different levels for multiplication. Third is Dragon Ducks Algebra 5 Plus. This is a kind of apps that can help kids develop their problem solving and algebra skills with different level of difficulties. It offers a very intuitive interface that makes it easier to use with different levels appropriate for the learner's skills. Fourth is Reflex. Among all the math fluency app listed here, Reflex stand out with a rich base system of learning math for students ages 2 to 8. It offers an adaptive learning environment, creating scopes of learning math for students with different ability levels. It is truly intuitive to offer learners problems in line with level. Next is Operational Math. Operational Math is unique because it creates an engaging game like in 5 times time missions, allowing kids to learn and practice all mathematical actions including addition, subtraction, division, and multiplication. Ideally targeted for ages 9 to 11, it offers a fun-filled way of engaging with number and calculations. It offers a very easy-to-understand user interface with everything clearly expanded and accessible. The app also comes in a very user-friendly in-app support for learners. Next is Most Math. Most Math, it is basically a game app made of funny characters referred to as the Dust Funnies. These characters at various stages will help kids master the various types of math problems. If you want your child to learn addition, counting, subtraction, on geometry, and sorting in a funny and engaging way, this is the best app. Next is Free Graphing Calculation. This is simple app is pretty expressive and a wide range of tools for divisor mathematical action. This is another awesome app with an intuitive user-friendly interface that works more as a tool to do complex calculations. With the same app, you get a scientific and graphing calculation unit, converter, statistics tool, and a good reference for all required formulas, contents, and other important information. Next is Number Rock. This is engaging math app ideal for kids at the elementary level. It also It offers learning modules for different skills level and comes packed with text tools for writing equations. This is a visual way, offering movable color beads. The app encourages learners to group and sort, and in the process, learn addition and subtraction. Next is Sail Through Math. This is an incredibly fun math fluency iOS app that uses storytelling to help your young learners develop math skills over time. It offers 3 different levels for playing with numbers to help kids learning addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division. And that's all the math drill apps.
So next is slide. What is slide? Slide projectors have been used by teachers for their slide presentation. Among the various types of materials that are available for projection, slides and film strips are the foremost visual aids. It can make the presentation of lessons near to seeing real objects and subjects. So the slide projectors have been used by projecting pictures from a transparent slide on a wall or screen. So nowadays, innovative and stimulating presentation applications are commonly used by teachers. So some of these are, first we have the Microsoft PowerPoint. In 2011, Segundo and Salazar in their research stated that PowerPoint has become the world's most widely used presentation program and is a complete presentation program that allows teachers to produce professional-looking presentation in EFL classrooms. So here's the example of the Microsoft PowerPoint. So next is Powtoon. So in 2018, Seaman and Ismael stated in the research that Powtoon is a web-based tool that offers a wide array of media options, graphics, cartoons, and animated images to create animated presentation that flows smoothly and logically. So it also features classroom accounts for project-based learnings. So Powtoon can be used to teach any subject. In mathematics, this can be used to teach mathematical skills like number scenes using graphics or cartoons. So this is the example of Powtoon. So it uses some graphics, cartoons, and animated images. Third one is the Google Drive presentation. It is a cloud-based presentation. It is always available because it can be accessed anytime if there is a net connection using your PC, Chrome, Android, and etc. Since it is a part of Google's software Office suite within the Google Drive, you can also easily share it with your students in your mathematics or science classes. So next, we have the Slide Rocket. This is a web-based program that will allow you to create presentations for your mathematics and science classes. This software is very similar to other presentation software like PowerPoint and Prezi. Its notable features are its templates, which can be used to make presentations more visually appealing. So lastly, we have Prezi. So just like PowerPoint presentation, there are also several researchers that claim Prezi is commonly used for presentations in academic instruction. Hoska in 2013 stated that Prezi is taking hold in some disciplines and circles. Instructors, professional speakers, and students continue to post presentations created through Prezi online for public perusal. However, Yusni and Kumita in 2016 emphasized that the development of presentation in all education material should carefully adhere to the principles of instruction design and must not overuse the feature as it could also lead to some negative effect on the learners. So this is the example of
mathematics and science
Prezi that
teaching
is
and learning.
uploaded online.
Moreover, the following skill can be also be developed. First, perspective to the mathematical and scientific language to be used. Second, writing, spelling, grammar, drafting, revising, and editing. Third, imagination, confidence in using technical writing skills. Fourth, use incredible references. The following are also important. Consider preparing for a newsletter. First, accuracy. Ensure the facts are right. Always use the 5 W's and H. Who, what, when, where, why, and how. Audience, who will read the paper? Is the story of interest to them? Third, research. Always check the facts that you have collected. Fourth, image. Don't click the image to the last minute. Fifth, writing. What is the wow factors of the story? Start with a good lead. Pamphlets is a small unbound booklet focused on a single subject, often educational in nature. Jargon is an author of a layman writing that organizes passion to communicate clear message. Lucid Press 2020. They have a sample of tools that can use to develop your pamphlets are: first, Microsoft Publisher; second, Adobe Spark; third, Lucid Press. This is the example of a pamphlet. Brochure. A brochure is used to advertise a company and its products or services. Lucid Press 2020. They have an application that developed to use brochure are: first, Microsoft Publisher; second, Canva; third, Vinpage; fourth, Vesme. The last one is a Flip Snacks.
Cartoon. A cartoon is a simple picture of an amusing situation. Sometimes it is a satirical comment on a serious or topical issue. Cartoon pictures enable people to discuss sensitive issues and so are useful for teaching and training. This picture is an example of a cartoon. Cartoon strip can be used to teach sequencing and ordering to students. So a cartoon strip is a sequence of frame drawings which tell story. So both types are to be found in magazine, newspaper, and leaflets. So in development situations, a cartoon is a method of conveying a specific message. So a cartoon strip can be introduced as a icebreaker and can also be used in a workshop or training session. So there are free cartoon softwares that you may use or let your student use. First is Animaker. Next is Pencil 2D, Synfig, Inkscape, and Python. Now let's proceed to journal.
Journals are records of personal insights and experiences of the students. So this also can be used by the teacher as instructional materials to manage reflections and insights interactions in the class. And now, journal writing is a very good activity that a teacher can let the student do because they have the freedom to write their thoughts and feelings. So the following are some examples of free technological application that can be used by the student to write their journal digitally. First is Perspective app by Blinky. Next is Journey Journal, Momento Journal app, Pencil Journal app, and Jaro Journal app. Bulletin board. Bulletin boards. Digitally, a teacher can develop an online bulletin board where he or she may post some mathematics and or science activities or information that will help the students. So, there are applications that can be used for this purpose, and these are Wall Wisher, are now called Padlet. This was the first online application that let you easily place virtual post-it notes on a virtual corkboard or bulletin board and allow you to post text, image, and or videos on them. Next is Corkboard Me. So this is now called Note App, which is a wall-wisher-like tool. This site has the ability to embed your virtual bulletin board. Next is Padlet. You can make online bulletin board with virtual post-its. Next is Space. This is similar to the others on this list. Registration is required. Next is GroupZap. This app joins a long list on online virtual corkboards. It has some nice features, including the ability to convert your board to a PDF and being able to drag and drop image on documents from your files. Next, the last is Real-Time Board. This is an online whiteboard that seems like a decent tool for a real-time collaboration. It is easy to use and lets you upload image from your computer by its URL address.
Today, I'm going to discuss to you the characteristics of an effective and efficient instructional tools. It deals with the uses of digital tools and resources available to enhance the learning of the students. That is why the teachers need to be knowledgeable and skilled enough, simply because technology is not enough. The first characteristics is enhances instructional effectiveness. It talks about what are the components of an effective instruction. It facilitates the increase of students' achievement and demonstrate the intended learning outcome, including those with special learning needs. It means that the teachers must understand the pedagogy and how to effectively use the materials. Number 2, promotes active learning. The use of interactive technological tools to stimulate learning interest. It involves here the activities. Active learning means that it is actively engaging students with the course materials throughout the discussions. Example, role-playing, peer teaching. Number 3, develops critical thinking skills, promotes higher level thinking skills, and encourage problem-solving skills. Why it is important to develop critical thinking skills? because it enhances our judgment, evaluation, and of course, problem solving.
And now let's proceed. Let's talk about the characteristic of an effective and efficient instructional tools. So we have accommodates differentiated instruction. Students have diverse backgrounds and have diverse intelligence. They learn in different ways and in different manner. But the difference is that accommodations refer to helping a single student with a specific disability, and differentiated instruction includes all students in a class learning the same content, all being challenged at their ability level while using their multiple intelligence learning style. So this picture shows one of the accommodates differentiated instruction. So next we have motivating. The use of instructional materials is a big help for the teacher to facilitate the teaching learning process. And furthermore, instructional materials are essential and significant tools needed for teaching and learning in order to promote teachers' efficiency and improve students' performance. With the use of these materials, students become more motivated and attentive and participative in learning process. And now let's proceed to multisensory. Multisensory, one of the biggest challenges among teachers is to prepare for an instructional materials that is multisensory. With the advent of technological tools developed by very good programmers, multimedia are available that enable teachers to just learn how to use them to the maximum in the teaching of their.
So, let's talk about the National Disability Authority, the 7 principles. So, Principle 1, Equitable Use. The design is useful and marketable to all people with diverse ability. So here are the guidelines. So letter A, provide the same means of use to all users. So identical whenever possible, equivalent when not. Letter B, avoid segregating or stigmatizing any users. Letter C, provision for privacy, security, any users should be equally available. And letter D, make the design appealing to all users. So let's move to principle 2. So the flexibility use. So the design accommodates a wide range of individual preference and abilities. So here are the guidelines. So letter A, provide a choice and methods of use. B, accommodate right or left-handed access of use. Letter C, facilitate the user's accuracy and precision. And letter D, provide adaptability to all users' face. And principle 3, simple and intuitive use. So the use of the design is easy to understand, regardless of the user's experience, knowledge, and language skills or current concentration level. So here are the guidelines that we need to follow. Letter A, eliminate unnecessary complicity. So letter B, be consistent with the user's expectation and intuition. Letter C, accommodate a wide range of literacy and language skills. Letter D, arrange information consistent with its importance. Letter E, provide effective prompting during and after task completion. So now let's move to principle 4, the perceptible information. So the design effectively communicates necessary information to all users. So regardless of ambient condition or the user's sensory ability. So here are the guidelines that we need to follow. So use different modes like pictorials, verbal, or tactile for redundant presentation of essential information. And letter B, provide adequate contrast between essential information and in surroundings. Letter C, it minimizes legibility of essential information. Letter D, differentiate elements in ways that can be described. And letter E, provide comparability with a variety techniques or devices used by the people with sensory limitation. And let's move to principles 5, the tolerance for error. So the design minimizes hazards and the adverse consequences of accidental or unintended action. So here are the guidelines. Letter A, arrange elements to minimize hazards and error. So most used elements, most accessible, hazardous elements eliminated, isolated, or shielded. Letter B, provide warning, hazard, and error. So it should be we should be provide, and it is really important to have a warning and hazard for us to avoid and aware on the things that we are going to do. Letter C, provide fail safe feature. And letter D, discourage unconscious action in tasks that require vigilance. So now let's move to principle 6, physical effort. So the design can be used efficiently and comfortably with a minimum of fatigue. So here are the guidelines. Letter A, allow user to maintain neutral body position. So for us to be more comfortable. So letter B, use reasonable operating forces. Letter C, minimize repetitive action. So it should be only one. And letter D, minimize sustained physical efforts. So let's move to principle 7, size and space of approach and use. So appropriate size and space provided for approach, reach, manipulation, and use, regardless of user's body size, posture, and mobility. So here are the guidelines. A, provide a clear of sight to important elements for any seated or standing users. Letter B, make reach to all components comfortable for any seated or standing users. Letter C, accommodates variation in hand grip and sizes. Letter D, provide adequate space for the use of assistive device or personal assistants. So that's
Center for Academic and Faculty Development. The Durham College cited the 3 UDL principles. These principles are important to educators. It's also important to the student because it benefits from variety of learning format. These principles provide variety of strategies and resources. It also helps diverse learning needs and improve accessibility to learning opportunities. What is UDL principle? UDL stands for Universal Design Learning, and it has 3 principles. First principle is to provide multiple means of representation. It presents information and content in different ways. Second principle is to provide multiple means of action and expression. It differentiates ways that students express what they know. Third and lastly, provide multiple means of engagement. It stimulates interest and motivation for learning. So this UDL principle is very helpful to rationalize why it is very important to every teacher to not just pick any instructional tools for the sake of having one and for the teacher to integrate technologies without understanding some learning principle. Teacher must be vigilant, innovative, and creative in choosing and developing instructional materials to ensure efficient learning and to make her or his student to understand the lesson.
Good day everyone. Today we're going to discuss about the evaluation of mathematics or science teachers' multimedia presentations. As a teacher or student, it's really important that we have this evaluation, this appraisal or assessment about the works, especially the presentations, because we're going to present that in our students. In evaluation, we need to consider the 6 steps to make these things work done in a good result. First is step 1, identify objectives. And identify objectives, identify some of the reasons behind going over samples of well-designed multimedia presentations. You will really need to recall about why did you choose those samples those samples are helpful. So really to identify its importance of those samples. Step 2, citing best features in multimedia presentation. Recall the features of multimedia presentations. In recalling the features, it is talking about the video, the graphics, the sounds, the slides. It's important to review those things because it is part of our presentation. If those things are integrated enough or interactive enough and interesting in the students. Recall the principles, the guidelines in developing instructional materials. This one thing is important also because the principles will not your basis in developing the presentation. The instructional materials is important because that are in there we're focusing our topics to deliver to the students through our multimedia presentation. Step 3, reviewing shares multimedia presentations. Multimedia presentations lessons covering 5 courses in mathematics. Multimedia presentations lessons covering all courses in science as well must be developed by a professional teacher. We should really check on that part and develop from 2015 to current time to have a grasp in modern way of teaching or in lessons. Step 4, preparing for the review report. In preparing the review report, we have these questions that we should check, like are references cited properly, the highlight of the key points, and in terms of designs, use only one color scheme, can stimulate interest through layout, graphics, and transitions. Appropriate textual elements, font types and size should really be easy to read. Minimal bullets per slide. The use of multimedia elements help explains better the concept. The multimedia elements are not distracting or repetitive. Step 5, reporting the review. It is important to organize your report and prepare the discussion in the class. Begin with the best features to be followed with the points for the improvement. Step 6. Recommending for the areas of their improvement. Provide with the tips to come up with an improved multimedia presentation for the review from the review presentation. And that's all. Thank you.
So, a newsletter is developed to help you meet your targeted student learning objects and make sure that the content of your newsletter is appropriate to your learner's profile and are relevant to the contents of your learning lesson plan. This rubric, Intel 2010, will be used to evaluate your newsletter. First is knowledge of subject matter, understanding concepts, language, writing style, sentence structure, convention, creativity, connection to resources, audience, and last, newsletter features. Exploring samples of newsletter from the World Wide Web. Step 1. Check of the following websites for additional newsletter writing ideas. In case identified websites are not anymore available, you may research for other websites for your reference example. Step 2. Planning content. Remember that you are creating a newsletter for your students to understand your lesson and be guided by the following. Overall goal to the newsletter, title of the newsletter, elements necessary for the targeted learning objectives, topics and reference material needed. Other resources that will be used in the creation of the content. The following are some possible information that you need to gather to include in the newsletter. Letter to the editor, cartoons or sketches, puzzles or trivia questions, survey, public opinion, pictures, and last, news discoveries. Step 3. Creating a newsletter storyboard. To ensure that you are guided by the principles of layouting a newsletter and of the development of its essential contents, it will help you will create first a storyboard. First is newsletter title, lead story headline, secondary headline, and last featured articles.
Creating multimedia presentation. But first, we have to define what is multimedia. Multimedia, it is more than the use of media and consists of images, text, video clips, or audio. For the teacher support material, these are the steps that they're going to do or to follow. The first step is reviewing learning plan. Identify the learning objectives. In this step, your target is to review your objectives in order for you to think seriously about the choice of your learning objectives that the students need to know or have to learn. The second step is explore presentation software application. Explore different presentations software applications for your presentation. In this step, you have to look different presentation software applications and explore how to use it and choose what's best for you. And these are the different presentation software applications. These are the Google Slides, Keynote, Prezi, Zuho, and Beyond. The third step is planning the content. In order to organize the content of your slides of your presentation, it will help if you use a storyboard. And this is the example of the storyboard. It indicates there the subject and year level, your lesson title or topic, learning objectives, and the target date of presentation. In this part, these are the parts of the multimedia presentation. In slide 1, it indicates there your title of the presentation and your name. In slide 2, it indicates there your objectives or the learning outcomes that the students should learn or to know. In slide 3, something to generate in the topic, example a quote, photo or video or a chart. So in this slide, you have to indicate about your title of your presentation like a quote, photo or video or a chart. In fourth slide, it indicates there your first main idea or the information about your title of your presentation. In slide 5, it should have supporting details or support for the first main idea, example, the short quiz or the chart. In slide 6, it indicates there the second main idea specify the text as well as the non-textual element to be put in this slide. So you have to put an information about the title of your presentation. In seventh slide, in this slide, you have to support your main idea. It can be in example, mini quiz, or chart. In the eighth slide, it indicates there the third main idea or your information about your topic. Ninth slide, don't forget to put supporting details about the third main idea. In 10th slide, you have to put your summary, and it can be a way of table or a concept map. In 11th slide, don't forget to list the references that you use about your presentation.
UDL approach. Learning technologies are an integral part of a UDL approach. However, simply using technology in mathematics or science classroom is not implementing UDL. These three principles, a framework on how to develop lesson plans and assessment. First, provide multiple means of representation. UDL recommends offering information in more than one format, in content and text, audio, video formats, PowerPoint, MP3, etc. Second, provide multiple means of action and expression. UDL suggests giving kids more than one way to interact with material and to show what they've learned. Flexibility in how weekly activities and major assignments to be completed, such as written, multimedia presentation, choice to participate in discussion using text, video, etc. Third principle, provide multiple means of engagement. UDL encourages teachers to look for multiple ways to motivate students. Consistent course organization, ongoing written, video feedbacks to students, timely responses to students' emails. How can mathematics and science teachers and administrators best support the development of UDL development? Online and blended learning are great platforms for UDL implementation where teachers and students can access easily various multimedia tools to facilitate the development of technology-enhanced UDL.